Hey guys, today we're going to start Lou on his journey to becoming a rope horse. What we want to do today is get him accustomed to the rope, show him a few of the fundamentals, show him where to get off of pressure from that rope and that sort of thing. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Going to turn him loose, make sure this saddle's snug enough where it's not going to come off. All right. So Lou's pretty quiet bugger. He doesn't give us too much trouble, but we want to make sure, you know, the rope is a different deal. You know, a horse, you might have a horse that's just super quiet with most everything else, and you introduce them to the lariat rope and you just pop their cork, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and break the ice today by letting him hear the sound of this lariat rope, and that's not bothering him too bad. I want him to hear the sound of this thing zipping. All right, we're gonna zip him out. Now he's not concerned by that at all, right? All that stuff's really good. I didn't expect to have too much trouble. Now, if you get a horse that can't stand the sound of that rope doing that, and I've had plenty of them over the years, you just keep doing it, okay? You just keep making that noise until they decide that they want to keep their feet still, and then you can quit, right? And you can release the pressure, and then you pick it back up, and eventually they'll quit. They'll quit wanting to run from it. Then it's the same thing with the sound of the rope swinging like this, right? A lot of horses can't stand the sound of that whizzing around their head, and so if they want to run around the round pen and lose their mind when you start swinging, well, you just keep swinging it until they calm down, and then you can quit, and then you build it back up again until they calm down and they quit. And hopefully the idea there is that eventually they just accept the sound of that lariat rope whizzing around their head, and they don't get bothered by it at all. Now, when you get them to this point, okay, you want to come over here and you want to swing this thing like this, right? Now, you can keep them on a halter if you want. Let me show you how I do that on the halter. There's two different ways you can do this, really. I saw Pat Puckett doing it from the bed of the pickup. He backed the pickup up to the round pen and stood up on the bed of the truck. I don't know. That's fine. You can do it that way if you want to. I prefer to do it like this. You can either leave them loose or you can put a halter on them. Okay, if you think they're going to run off, honestly, if you think they're going to run off, the best thing to do is to let them run off, right? Keep swinging it until they don't want to run off anymore, and then quit, all right? And build on it like that. But what I'm going to do with Lou, even though I don't need to, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put that stopper knot in my lead rope, and then I'm going to swing this thing out here like this. Okay, I'm going to hold that lead rope with the coils of my rope, and I'm going to swing this out here. And if he wanted to get silly and leave the country, well, I'd just keep doing that and let him go around in a circle, just like we were lunging around in a circle. And then when he wanted to face up to me, which is what he'd do, well, then I'd just put it down, right? And I'd come up here and I'd pet him with it, and I'd tell him, good boy, you know, and I'd touch him all over with the coils of this thing. And there's a little resistance right there. Let's just stay there until he gets over that. There. Okay. So I just keep doing this till he calmed down, and then we back away. And then we come back up there and touch him with the rope, and then we'd start over again until eventually he would just take it. And I would try to get closer and closer and closer till I'm up here swinging it over his head. Make sure you don't whack him in the butt with it, okay? Because you can kind of undo some of the things that you've already, some of the successes that you've had. But just make sure you can get to this point. I do all of this stuff when they're 2-year-olds. So I really don't have problems when they get older. But if you're starting an older horse and you're trying to go through this process, well, just do it the way that I just explained it to you, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and go forward with Lou on the halter. What I would do on the halter, once I get it to where I could swing it all around him, then I'd rope him on the rear end, right? And you see how my loop swung under his belly and in front of his front feet. Then I can get him to step over that thing like this. And now I got him roped, right? Okay. Now I'm not going to pull that tight. We don't need to flank Lou, okay? Because I know that Lou's not going to buck. But I will show you what I will do with it. Okay. I want to rope that saddle, and then I want to pull that thing up around his hocks. There's a little resistance. You see that resistance right there? Okay. I want him to accept that feel right there without getting upset. And he's not very upset, but when he stops moving his feet, I'm going to release that pressure. Okay. There. Pet him and tell him good boy. All right. Now let's go back and do it again. And Lou's just so soggy and so easy. I mean, he's fractious about a couple of things, but stuff like this just doesn't bother him all that much. All right. Why am I doing this? Well, because obviously if this horse ever gets rim fired, we don't want it to pop his cork, okay? There are some actions that I want him to take specifically, but walking forward is not one of them. I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes, what I do want him to do if he gets rim fired. But right now we're just desensitizing him to that feel. You all know I hate that word, but that is what we're doing in this instance. We're saying, hey, you just need to accept that feel of that rope around your rear end without leaving the country, okay? I boogered him there somehow. He just kind of got lulled to sleep a little bit there. Okay, so we'll do it again. And what I want him to do is not respond at all. I don't want him to go forward. There. Okay, do it again. Good. All right, all that's coming along just fine. Awesome. All right, so now let's take this thing, let's move it back and forth a little bit, show him how that feels, you know, because that rope is coarse and it's going to have a different feel to it, and I want him to understand what that feels like and not get spooked by it. All right, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to let it come down around down below his hocks. All right, I'm going to do the same thing down there below his hocks. See, and that's a new feel to him. Okay, yes, I do want him to come off of the pressure of that rope. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But I want him to be accustomed to that feel first, because I don't want him to think that he's got to make some big explosive move in order to come off of that deal. I want it to be very calculated and very controlled when he comes off of that pressure, okay? And the only way to do that is to make sure that he understands what that rope feels like first. Now, all that's pretty doggone good. If he wasn't good with that, I'd stay there. You know I would. I'd stay there until he relaxed, then I'd quit. Then I'd start again, I'd stay there until he relaxes, then I'd quit. And I'd keep doing that over and over again until Lou just accepted that and didn't overreact, okay? Now, we're gonna turn Lou loose. That's how you do all that stuff on the halter. But I'm not gonna work Lou on the halter today. I'm gonna work him free. Now, it's hard to rope a horse that's got their head stuck on the side of the pen like that. I'm gonna try it. I wanna rope him around the neck, okay? I'm gonna get him to kind of take his head off the side of the pin there a little bit. They were getting a little life in his feet. Boy, that's something that we don't see very often, out of Lou anyway. He's not really known for having tons of life in his feet, except when you don't want him to. That suits me just fine. I like that life in the feet. Okay, so just like that, I want that rope around his neck. All right, and then I'm gonna throw it around. Oh, look at that right there. That's good. That's good stuff, Lou. See how he come off of that pressure? That's exactly what we're gonna want him to do, and that was cool and calculated. It was not explosive. It wasn't an overreaction at all. So let's see if we can get it the other way. That's it right there, guys. Now, okay, so this is just super easy, right? If Lou was going to lean on that or push on it, then I just can continue that pressure until he came off of it, and then I would relax it, right? That's how you do that. And then I'm going to throw it back over here, and I'm going to come over here. There. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so let's play this little game with him. Let's see how quick he can come off of that. All right. You know, when a horse is roping or anything else, it's his job. It's his job to keep us out of a wreck, to keep him and me both out of the wreck. And he can, if you teach it to him first, beforehand. Let's get it down there around that pastern. Oh yeah. Oh, see, he's got the wrong response right there. There we go. That's what we want. That's what we want. Now I'm going to wait for him to show me a little mouth action, okay? That just tells me that everything's sinking in and we're good. Come up here and pet him. Tell him he's a good boy. You're a good boy, buddy. You're doing good, man. Doing real good, partner. Real good. Now he's grinding his teeth a little bit, but he's being pretty stoic about it. He's not really loosening that mouth up. I can feel. There we go. There it is. All right, let's see if we can turn him around 180 degrees. Oh yeah. Now I want him to give off that pressure there, off that neck rope too. Okay. I'm not going to choke him with it. I just want him to give off the pressure, that's all. All that stuff's really, really important. Okay. I'll flip that up around the horn. Then I'll go the next step level. Well, he's going to want to come off of that. He sees it coming now, see? He knows how to play this game already. Boy, he's just doing so good with that. I just couldn't be more pleased with all that. Good, Lou. Real good. All right, now let's try this. All right. He's not going to even let me get it under that tail, but I really want to get that rope under his tail. All right. I'll show you how we'll do that, okay? If they start wanting to give that pressure so much that you can't get it up there, you still got to get the rope under their tail, okay? You can't skip it. Don't protect them from that, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. All right, so just set your rope up just like that. All right. Pull that thing all the way up there under his tail. See, there's a little resistance to that right there, sure enough. He don't even want to let me do that, okay? Usually they'll go around there and you can just pull that thing right up under their tail, no problem. I'll just get him moving. Okay. Now he is coming off that pressure. Technically it's pulling that way. Here we go. There it is. Okay, see, now that rope came all the way up under his tail that time and he just turned loose of it. Guys, you know that a lot of these horses are just going to clamp down on that rope. I'm afraid this may not even be a good lesson just because you lose so easy with all this stuff. I see a little fear and resistance right there with that rope, so let's just stay there for a minute. See, he's trying to avoid, he doesn't want to let that rope get back there. He's doing whatever he has to do to avoid that. That's great. Smart horse right here. Let's just do this for a few minutes. You see all that silliness that he's got right there? You know, it doesn't have to be pretty, okay? There. Come off of that pressure real good. Come off of that pressure real good. Let's just do that back and forth. Now he's kind of, there, see? I don't want him to come backwards. I want him to get off of that pressure. That's good. All right, so next thing, let's make sure that he's good with that rope around these feet. All right, let him step over right there. Oh, there's a spot. There's a spot. What's going to happen when he steps over that rope, right?